Welcome, people. It's Q'd Up Productions, and today I'm talking about my top 5 synths that are my go-tos. I have others that I use, but these I tend to gravitate towards at some point in the production. And some of them are just kind of your common things. Really, no specific order, honestly, but I'm gonna start from the bottom just simply because those are older, and then I'll work my way to the ones I pretty much grab every single time. Okay, the first up is a oldie but goodie is Native Instruments Massive. I'm not too fond of the new one that they have. I haven't had a chance to play around with it, but it just the flow of it just didn't look like it was something that was conducive to the way that I like to go through and make sounds and do all of that. I tend to, if I grab a preset, sometimes the presets are pretty good with Massive stuff. I don't know about the new one, as I said before, but I think that everything is here where I can see it. Again, I'm more of a simplest type of person, especially when it comes to production. I like to get to it. I can see all three of my oscillators right here. I can see anything that I want to do to modulate it. I can see my envelopes physically right here, labeled LFOs, performance and step. Everything that I need is right there. All of my effects are right here on one page. I don't have to do a lot of fishing through menus and things like that. Now some people go through and they change the key tracking and voicing and all that. About the only thing I do in the voicing aspect of it is if it's something that's going to be more bassy, I'll drop the max down a little bit. I only need one oscillator, so I'm good with that. If I want something to be more spacey, I won't have it on mono. I'll leave it on poly, maybe give it a little bit of detune, and after that I'm good to go. Add some effects and I'm ready to go. So I've always liked Massive. Massive was the first synth that I actually learned how to do a little bit of sound design on, so I think that's why I still kind of gravitate towards it when I can't find a preset that I want and I don't feel like doing a whole bunch of diving in some of the other synths that I'm going to name here coming up. So Massive, definitely high on my list. Close that. All right, and next up is Reactor 5. I don't know if they plan on going through and redoing Reactor 5 just as they have redone Massive for Native Instruments, but Razer is one of my favorite ones. I love the graphic interface, and again, the simplicity of it. Everything is on one page. So I'm not sure, where you are in your journey as far as, trying to get into sound design, or if you want to make your own sounds, make your own sound packs or anything like that. But if you do, then my advice, something that worked for me, I can only state what works for me. What worked for me was everything being in one spot, to where I didn't have to do just trying to find things. I think that's probably the most overwhelming thing when you look at sound design, is there's so many knobs, and yeah, it's a good thing. You got a whole lot of things you can go in and tweak, but if you don't know what they do, then it's kind of the all for nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I like the fact that it's all on one page. I can get to everything pretty quick. I can see what it's doing, and I just like that. Plus they have a pretty extensive preset library if that's what you go for. I use a lot of presets, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I have to go in and tweak them. Sometimes it's a little bit too much reverb or too much delay. You know how those things go. So Razer is another one. All right, next up is Serum. I'm sure every producer out here, from 2016 on knows about Serum. Serum is just a great plug-in to do sound design. It's fairly easy. Again, everything is kind of laid out pretty good. Everything is kind of self-explanatory in some ways. There was a couple things I found to be a little bit odd. Like I didn't like the fact that if I want to do something with changing the chorus tune or something like that to have it modulate, I had to go up here to this little thing here, and yeah, they have the little spots that the hot spots where you can go on and it'll tell you what to do, but and then you gotta come over here and then figure out your how you want things routed. I do like the fact that what they did in Serum was, they allowed you to be able to move these in a different type of order and hear what they sound like. So I did like that aspect of it. The matrix, I mean, it's, I guess you could say standard. You know, you say where you want to go from, you know, what the source is and where you're going to, and then you give the amount, and that's it. A good synth, great sound to it. You know, but just like any other synth, it takes some getting used to. But you know, I love the sounds that I've made in it. I've made some sound packs and things like that from it, and you know, I'm gonna have some sound packs coming out for some sounds that I've done in Reason, I've done in some upcoming synths that I'm about to show, as well as some sample libraries that I've been making, you know, along the way as well. So stay tuned for those. All right, and then two of my all-time high right now that I've been on. One of them is Pavements, and both of these are by Arturia, which is a great company. Customer service was outstanding. Had some questions about the plugin. I just gave them a call, and you know, they answered all the questions that I had. Plenty of videos out showing how to manipulate things. If you, as I've said before, not to beat a dead horse, but I like it when everything is there where I can see it. If everything that I want to modulate, I'm looking at it. If I want to go in deeper, I can, you know, but I don't have to. You know, if I can click on wherever and just start manipulating, start doing things, whatever parameter that I want. All I have to do is hit the plus sign, and everything is blank. So I have all these things as a palette of what I want to move, and I can just start moving things as much as I want to and just listen to what that effect is. It was just easy to manipulate and just tweak to your heart's content, and you can hear them instantly. One thing that was different about Arturia's plugin of Pigments is that not only do you have you have send and return buses within the plugin, and then you have your master effects. So you can make a bus of 3 effects. If you look up here, you see I have an EQ, they have an overdrive, and they have a chorus. All of these are laid out right here. So if I click on effects B, then I have a bit crusher, a delay, and a chorus. So if I'm on my main page, with the synth, and I want to add a little bit of that in to a parameter or a sound, then I could just go ahead and add it in, just like I would do on a regular mixer. And you know, it was kind of neat. I thought it was a different take on how to manipulate synths and add effects to them. So I tend to like it. It has some pretty good sounds in it. The presets are great. I've made some of my own presets that you know, I don't know if I'll ever do a preset bank. And you know, I usually make sounds that I'm trying to fit into something that I'm doing, and I'm not a top-notch sound designer by any stretch of the imagination. I just try to, you know, make what I think I'm looking for and then go from there. So Pigments by Arturia. And last but not least, but the big daddy for me, and I'm not really sure if you can consider this to be one VST or one synth, because this is Analog Lab. And in Analog Lab, we have all these different instruments within it. So, you know, I have an ARP 2600, I've got a B3, I have all these things at my disposal, you know, that I can choose from. And if you look up here, 7,433 presets that you can go through as your heart's content. And of course, you can come through and filter those things by style or type. And you do it all from within this plugin if you want, or if you do not want to do that, then you can always go here and just load up, you know, each one that you want. Hold on one second. We go here, we go Arturia, and these are all of the synths that come within that Analog Lab package. V6 is the one that I got. I haven't got the 7 or did the update, but V6 is great for me. And you have all these things that you can choose from. You can load those instruments up individually, or you can you know, go through Analog Lab and then search for what you want, and it'll filter it out for any instrument. You know, it doesn't matter, just give you all those that are within that Analog Lab series that they have. So all of these are great plugins. That's not to take away from some of the other ones out there like Electric X. I just don't have it. You know, I just, you know, the scents that I have, I make those work. Some other ones that I use, just some, you know, kind of honorable mention ones you know, you might want to consider or look at, as an oldie but goodie, but you know, it gets the job done. Is hold on, where are you at? Is expand. Expand is still a great plugin to me, you know, for what you know, depending on what you want to use it for, what you're trying to get from it. um I like it. I mean, look at this. Look at all of the presets that you have of things that have been made for you. You have some multi-timbral ones that you can go in and have those go to, you know, different mixer channels if you want. I mean, this was a great plugin. It still got some great sounds, and you can always run them through effects and turn them into something that you want. So no matter what you have, these are just some of the ones that I have. There's a lot of great scents out there. Of course, one of the big ones is Omnisphere. I don't really use that simply because everybody uses it, and you know, I kind of like to have my own sound from time to time. So you know, that's just my opinion, you know. But there's some other great scents that are out there that a lot of people don't really talk about, but you can get some really great sounds from it, as well as your DAW. Don't underestimate the scents that come with your DAW. For Studio One, there's Mai Tai and Presence and things like that. Those are great VSTs as well. And Studio One does this thing where they continually come out with these different packs and things to make those instruments better, where you can buy preset packs. And you know, they have different designers, sound designers that come in, and they've made, you know, better presets for those. So never underestimate the ones that come with your DAW. But anyway, that's my time. Hopefully this video helped you make some choices on some good scents that you can add in your production. Be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button to stay up to date on all my latest content. And most of all, stay queued up. Peace.